China and Russia are having their intelligence agencies target national security federal workers in the United States. Ukraine has a general that is creating unsustainable losses for Russia, and the Trump administration has decreased restrictions on the use of airstrikes in combat. I am Mandatory Fun Day, and here's everything you need to know in just a couple minutes. Welcome back. Today we're delving into a concerning development involving U.S. national security. Recent intelligence reports indicate that foreign adversaries, notably Russia and China, are intensifying efforts to recruit disillusioned U.S. federal employees. According to sources within the intelligence community, U.S. intelligence agencies have observed that these nations are actively targeting federal employees who may be disgruntled or facing financial hardships. The aim is to exploit vulnerabilities and gain access to sensitive government information, and this does likely have to do with the DOGE cuts. This strategy isn't new. Historically, adversarial nations have sought to capitalize on insider threats within government institutions. However, the current scale and aggressiveness of these recruitment attempts have raised alarms within the intelligence community. Now, I do want to say, before you guys pick up the pitchforks, this is not me being for or against the firing of the federal workers. I'm an active duty service member, and I can't really comment one way or the other. But this is happening. Okay, this is happening, and there will be second and third order effects, and this is potentially one of them. That being said, there will probably be some good second and third order effects. All right, you're not getting me that easy. Calm down, put the pitchfork down. I love all of you. The recruitment of insiders offers foreign intelligence services a direct line to classified information without the risk associated with traditional espionage methods. By targeting people who already have access, they bypass many initial hurdles that are found with conventional espionage. These adversarial nations employ various tactics to approach potential recruits, including encrypted messages, social media, and even in-person meetings under false pretenses. Their goal is to identify individuals that might be dissatisfied with the government. The implications of such insider threats are profound. Compromised employees can inadvertently provide adversaries with critical information about government operations, defense strategies, and other national interests, undermining U.S. security. In response, U.S. agencies are bolstering their counterintelligence measures. Now, any one federal employee probably is not a significant threat, okay? Just one person. But when you get a group of them together, that's when you can paint a picture or put the puzzle together.
Let's take our knife. This is a fun part.
The U.S. intelligence community has within it something known as counterintelligence, and that is people that are directly responsible for countering insider threats. Counterintelligence agents are specifically trained to look for this kind of stuff, and they are going to be working overtime. Hopefully they're not part of the community that was fired. It will take significant time to find out what effects, if any, this has or what information is leaked. We will have to wait and see. Transitioning to the East. In the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, the Eastern Front has been a focal point of intense battles and strategic maneuvers. Central to Ukraine's recent military successes is General Mikhailo Drapati, a distinguished leader with a remarkable military career. General Drapati's strategic acumen has been pivotal in Ukraine's defense effort. His emphasis on mobility and surprise has disrupted Russian supply lines and command structures. I'm probably saying his name wrong. I'm very sorry. Born on November 21st, 1982, he began his military career in 2004 with the 72nd Mechanized Brigade. He first gained prominence during the 2014 Battle of Mariupol, where he led his battalion in liberating the city against separatist forces. Under his command, Ukrainian forces have executed recently precise operations leading to the recapture of territories and inflicting significant losses on Russian troops. He says his objective remains steadfast: to defend his sovereignty and the sovereignty of his nation and to ensure the safety of his citizens. General Drapati's leadership has not only bolstered military morale, but also strengthened the resolve of the Ukrainian populace. Global allies have taken note of these developments, reinforcing their support for Ukraine's defense initiatives. His tactics have set a precedent in modern warfare, showcasing how determination and strategic brilliance can alter the course of a conflict. This Ukrainian general's actions really can't be understated, because it's being reported now by several sources that Russians are suffering unsustainable losses. And that is significant because Russian doctrine allows for high levels of casualties of its own service members. It really goes to show how pivotal one leader can be. And it kind of sounds like this general may be Ukraine's Patton. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see how things unfold. Thank you all so much for supporting my channel. I really, really appreciate it. If you want to support me further, you can go pick up some merch at themandatoryfunday.com. Website members get 20% off of their entire purchase, and they always will. And in addition to that, we frequently post some exclusive content associated with that. But let's get back to the video. Shifting focus to a major U.S. policy change ushered in by the Trump administration. In a significant shift, President Trump has rescinded restrictions implemented during the Biden administration, granting military commanders greater autonomy in conducting airstrikes and raids against terrorist targets. Earlier this month, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth signed a directive that reduces the need for executive approval, broadening the scope of targets that the military can engage. This move marks a return to the aggressive counterterrorism policies of President Trump's first term. He asserts that this led to the significant weakening of ISIS. A senior Pentagon official highlighted that while this approach could lead to swift neutralization of terrorist threats, it also raises concerns about civilian casualties. Under the new policy, potential targets could include groups like Al-Shabaab in Somalia and the Houthis in Yemen. The Houthis are the ones that are touching the boats, and we don't like when people touch the boats. If you touch our boats at midnight, you're also going to see the sun at midnight. Previously, airstrikes required a rigorous vetting process involving multiple approvals, including that of the president. The new directive streamlines this process, granting more immediate decision-making power to commanders on the ground. Since the implementation of the new policy, there have been several airstrikes targeting terrorist groups in Iraq, Syria, and Somalia. The administration believes that these changes will enhance the U.S. military's ability to respond swiftly and effectively to emerging threats. Now, talking about, casualties that we want, which is the targets of our military operations, like other military targets, versus civilian casualties, there is very special care taken within the U.S. military, and I am privy to some of that process that ensures that civilian casualties and collateral damage is mitigated to the best of anyone's ability. Now, obviously, mistakes happen, and obviously, collateral damage does happen, and sometimes it happens on a mass scale. But there are literally schools that people go to in order to learn how to mitigate damage and only destroy or kill what we are trying to target. I don't think that it's unwarranted that some people would be skeptical that there could be greater civilian casualties or collateral damage with rescinding some of these policies. That being said, the Trump administration appears to want to give commanders the most tools that they can have in their arsenal. At the end of the day, commanders in the military are basically given left and right limits, and they're able to do effectively whatever they want within those limits. Commanders in the military have a lot of authority, a lot of decision-making power. I'm fairly confident that the decision-making process to vet airstrikes and kinetic strikes of this sort is still going to be rigorous. It'll probably will just commanders are just now going to have more input into the process, is what it sounds like to me. It's not going to have to go as high up to get approved. This move isn't surprising at all, given that President Trump was extremely hard on terrorist threats in his first term. This is not a shocking development in any way.